The other day, there was a debate between a flat earther and Red's Rhetoric. And among the list of well over 50 unsubstantiated claims that the flat earther just read off, in the middle was a mention of a laser test at the Great Salt Lake.
Next is the laser light experiment, which I posted up top, in which flat earthers use a laser light over the Great Salt Lakes to see if the Earth curves at 8 inches per square mile, as required by the globe model. The total distance was 21 miles. The globe model predicts there would be 294 feet of curvature drop. 220 feet of elevation would be required to see the laser if we lived on a globe. The bright laser could be seen by the camera on the other side of the lake at a laser height of just 5 feet.
And since Reds was not presented with this laser test during the Flat Earther's presentation, he could not reasonably offer any commentary on the test among the dozens of other claims. And even the moderator, who is also a Flat Earther, decided to take sore loser pot shots about it not being refuted during the debate. Listening to the debate, I was also not aware of this test, so I highlighted it in the list and set out to analyze it. First, I went looking for the laser test on the Flat Earther's Twitter channel, which was fun because he has me blocked. I found it on the Flat Earther's Twitter feed. It was actually a link to another Flat Earther's Twitter feed, who linked to a video on another Flat Earther's YouTube channel, and though this was recently uploaded, it was a truncated video with a link to the original video which was posted 2 years ago. Got all that? Good. And one should also note that the Flat Earther says that geometrically, this settles the debate. So we are talking about geometry when it comes to this test. The participants in this video were Taboo Conspiracy and a member of the now defunct and widely discredited FE Corps. Taboo Conspiracy, who tried to convince people one time that these two tests were performed from identical distances, but weren't, and FE Corps, who tried to say that these two tests were performed at 18 and 40 kilometers respectively, turned out they were the same footage from the same single 12-kilometer test. But back to the video. Now, calling it a laser test, one would hope that this means a point-to-point, laser-to-target test was performed with a dot on a target for measurement, which it wasn't, because attempting to have a laser paint a useful dot on a target beyond a few hundred meters is useless. Don't believe me? Just ask Jeranism and FE Corps. And no, that's not an insult, that's just a fact. So it's just another I see it, bright light test. Y'all really need to stop calling these things laser tests.
I also filmed the Kennecott smelter stack, and you can see all the way to the bottom and to the beach. There is no Earth curvature there. This video is already impossible under the globe. If you are claiming that I'm looking at a mirage, then you need to tell me where the mirage ends and the real line of sight begins.
So let's do this, and it's probably going to be pretty short. This is a copper smelting facility on the south end of the Great Salt Lake in Utah. Pretty close to the shore, it's a 370 meter high smokestack that makes a great alignment point for long distance observations. I will say that in my analysis of the provided footage, it does appear that all the locations used and their distances stated are correct. I currently have no reason to think that they fudged or misrepresented their locations or observations, and that's saying a lot given that FE Corps and Taboo Conspiracy were involved. But this was their observation. A purple light apparently from the stated location and height. As with similar long-range observations, flat earthers get so excited that they actually see something, they forget to analyze what they are seeing. So that's what I'm going to do here. You know, since flat earthers only trust their senses and don't take the extra couple of minutes to go the extra mile and actually analyze the footage, like I did. Here is a composite of the author's footage showing the smelting plant and the light observation. So what did they actually see here? Now, one thing needs to be said here. If you're going to bring Earth curve calculators or other geometry as your defense, then you have to be satisfied with using geometry to define the claim. And as I demonstrated live, the geometry matches the relevant locations. First, I modeled out the relevant elevations: the road, the cliff/mound, the elevation of the base of the smokestack, and the smokestack itself. I wanted to see if the geometry matches the close view. You can see the entire build process in my silent movie, The Salt Lake Stuff. And after modeling out the key features, it was clear that my model, the altitude stated by Google Earth, and the close range footage of the laser location all matched. So, since the geometry matches at close range, Let's see if it matches on the long distance shot. Some stuff is vertically off about this shot. The base of the smokestack is said and verified to be 41 meters above the water, and the smokestack itself is 370 meters tall. So that totals 411 meters. So that means from the water line to the top of the smokestack should equal 411 meters. But as you can see, that geometry across the plane does not match the observation, because there seems to be some land missing at the base of the smokestack, which leaves us really with only about 5 options here. Option 1, the smokestack sank into the ground between the afternoon and the evening shots. Nah. Option 2, if we discard the geometry, then scaling the 41 meter area between the waterline and the base of the smokestack, it should be 10% of the total height to the top of the stack, which is obviously what's not observed here. So that's out. Option 3, if the base was the right 41 meter height observed from that distance, then the laser is at least that same height off the water when compared to the base height of the smokestack. And if that were in fact true, then that would call into question just about every other measurement that they claim in this video. Option 4, if the heights were to be taken as vertically undistorted, and this little sliver is 41 meters high, then the smokestack, instead of being about the same height as the Empire State Building, would be more than twice the height of Burj Khalifa, and yet nobody ever heard of it being the tallest structure in the world. Or option 5, this is simply just refraction caused by atmospheric conditions and the curvature of the Earth, allowing a relatively small angle of the ground to be refracted upwards, making it visible where it otherwise geometrically across a perfect sphere with no atmosphere would have been hidden. You can demonstrate this refraction all by yourself, and it has been demonstrated by myself and many others, making it the most plausible option of all of them. All this test proved is that flat earthers absolutely refuse to analyze the footage that they take. You'll have an idea.
Oh my God.
If you want positive proof of the flat Earth, it's very simple. We have a flat horizon at 100,000 feet. That's it. That's the whole proof. If you had a picture at 100,000 feet of the horizon curving, you would use that as proof.
I got one of those too. 100,000 feet. Over Lake Erie. That's where you live. Showing the exact amount of curvature that's predicted by the globe model. It's that simple.
Oh my God.